Hello, it is I, your Senpai. Welcome back to NaNoWriMo Diaries. This is day 18. I don't know if I even wrote 200 words today because mostly what I was doing was going through the last half of what I had written after the time skip. There wasn't a lot there, and I was just kind of reading through it, and it seems like the writing itself was pretty solid. Percy, stop. Ma'am. The writing was pretty solid after a certain point. Here, take. Go play. And I think what I'll have to go back into is add in quite a few scenes to the beginning, kind of like I was saying yesterday. The plot just moves so fast in the first half before the time skip that everything after feels so slow. Part of me thinks that there's a way that there's a lot of stuff that I could cut out, but I feel like the character interaction is so important for the things that are going to happen later. And the whole argument I've had for a long time, not really argument, but like discussion I've had with one of my friends who's known about the story since its birth, has talked about is I wanted to start it at the most shocking point. And when I did that, it felt like the reader probably wouldn't care and it wouldn't hold much weight until there was more build-up about this particular scene. And I don't think that I could do it through flashbacks successfully. And I don't really like to use flashbacks anyway. I think they wind up being hard for me to kind of keep track of unless there's just like a couple. I'd rather do it through character conversation rather than write an entire like scene that takes place much earlier. So originally this story started where it's gonna end, actually, and a lot of the things before the end, essentially, they've been added specifically for character interaction. I need more of these characters. And I need the relationships to be built up before this event happens, or nothing else matters. Well, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't hold as much of a weight, I don't think, unless any of this happens, and that's what I've decided. I don't know, it's just, it's a struggle that I've had, and like, I could cut out some of the things that happen there, but it feels like it's so important. Like, I kept going back and back and back, just like one scene back, one scene back, one scene back, and eventually I was like, I could probably make a whole plot to this, and I did, and that was fine the way it was. And then I decided I could go back even further and discuss what happened here, and I like the scenes that are there. I don't know, I'm thinking really, really hard about the way that I did the plot. Now, it's like, it just moved on its own. I'm not about that. Why is this happening? Plot. I am thinking about plot and the things that maybe I should have done or shouldn't have done, should have thought out. Because when I go back, because I did this back in like the end of June, I was plotting out this entire novel, and I was doing it so that I could write this novel during NaNoWriMo. When I was doing the plot, it seemed like pretty solid. Like, I would have to fill in the blanks later and like solve the mystery as I was writing, because I'm better at writing notes as I'm writing rather than outlining everything in great detail before and then writing it, because I don't know, my mind doesn't work that way. And I come up with scenes like on the fly and stuff like that. But the way that I'm looking at what I did with my notes now, it's like, yeah, I I think I kind of skimmed really hard over everything, because I already have that piece written. I changed the first part. The second part already exists, but I think I've said this before. There's a lot of like filler in there, and it's like a bunch of stuff that's not even, I don't know, not entertaining for me to even read. And these are my own characters that I love so much. But it's like, I think I'm gonna have to like really, really, really go through the plot. And the thing is, if I change things, I'm either going to have to really beef up the beginning and stretch that out and add more scenes and add the character interaction that I so desperately want there at the beginning, or it's going to have to be kind of in the end where I don't want it to be. I don't know. What's happening? I'm glad that I had written today, and I'm glad that I read through it, because again, I was missing the word detective so many times, and I don't know why. And there's like, now in the dialogue, she has changed from, because she's kind of like undercover, so now she's like, no, you can just call me Ellie. So I think my brain was like, okay, only Ellie. We're not calling her Detective Ellie anymore, but she's still Detective Ellie. But yeah, I'm struggling really bad with the plot right now, and I'm not second guessing anything that I have already written. I think it's pretty solid. It's just, I either need to stretch out the beginning or do something with the end, because it's so slow. And it was kind of like supposed to be. It was supposed to build up to this shock thing, and now I'm thinking that it probably can't be that way. And I don't know, that's what I'm thinking about, and I'm just saying the same thing over and over. I'm pretty tired. Yeah. A question of the day. Percy, what should it be? Excellent question. Let's see. If you have planned this a little bit before Nano took place, because I have had projects that I like completely just pantsed, and they were awful, by the way. I try not to think about them. I was like, oh, it was okay. It was like a good idea, but when it came down to it, I was like done by like 5,000 words. It wasn't supposed to be a novel. But anyway, if this is a project you were kind of working on before, do you find as you're writing it, the plot isn't what you want? How would you change it? Like, do you feel like scrapping the whole entire idea? Do you think that you can work with what you have? This also includes things from the past and not just like what's happening now as you're writing. Yeah, like, I'm struggling so hardcore with that. Like, I don't think I need to scrap anything. It's just there's stuff that maybe I need to add, and I feel like I just need a day where I don't have to go to work, so that I can take the time and really plot this. Thanksgiving's coming up. yes. Maybe that's what I can do. When Thanksgiving happens, then I can take that day and just, oh, it's like the very end of the month. Oh no. It's like 10 days from now. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I really wish that I just had a day to just plot and fix all the little holes that I'm seeing now. And by little holes, I mean, like freaking cannon blasts through my story. I'm so upset. It's okay. It's fine. It will be good. And I don't want to give up on the story because I do love it so much. I love the characters. I love everything about the story. And it's almost there. It's almost there. It's just these couple little things. But I've already had a couple people asking me on Tumblr about it, and I'm like, heh, super excited. If I can just get this right, I can get it to exactly where I want it to be. Maybe I'll wind up putting the novel out, but more than anything, I really, really want to turn this into like a comic or a graphic novel, because I think that's just how I'm seeing it in my head, and it makes things very difficult to write, because how do you do like the glasses thing that happens in anime? Like, how does one lens like not show? Like, I don't know how to describe. Somebody probably more skilled than me could describe that very easily. But it's like I see it in my head a certain way, and I'm not sure how to describe it. Anyway, now I'm just kind of rambling. So now that you've had your question for the day, yeah, I'm gonna leave. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!